Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another couch video. Women are looking for that big O. And y'all know what I mean when I say O. That big orgasm, that trembling, those legs shaking, eyes going in the back of their head, them floating on cloud nine, them literally floating, like they could be floating and the head going back on the pillow. They float so much you can pull that pillow away and they still floating. You know, that thing where they looking up at you like, damn, who are you? You know? And shoot, if you really giving it to them good, shoot, they can't even talk. Yeah, for people who know about those 9 levels of orgasm, when they can't talk, you ask her, "Hey, baby, how it going?" She, yeah, you got it then. But for real though, seriously, women are looking for that. A lot of guys don't get that. Every time I talk about like women wanting sexual satisfaction, looking for, always get some pushback. Oh, they don't want it as much as us and all of that. No, they just don't want it with you in particular. But they looking for that. They looking for it to the point that it affects which men that they find select and which men that they don't. Now I know there's plenty of women out here talking about they want, that guy with money and, that good guy who be good with the kids, responsible and all that. Yeah, that's just the part they say publicly. The part they not really talking about is they want that with one of those guys that's going to make them holler. Seriously, and that plays a big part in it. That plays a big part, and there's certain factors that they look for in a man that gives them the idea that you have it. In fact, I got a couple links in there. I got a couple links down here. One is a link to this. It's a Reddit called Female Dating Strategy, where some women is talking about women looking for guys who got that BDE, big dick energy, because they're looking for that orgasm. And another one is about the type of guys that can give a woman an orgasm. Now, usually, even though people throw out, women are throw out different things, there's 2 things that they look for primarily. Primarily a hitter. Now, I always talk about the body game and everything, right? And yesterday I talked about how that masculinity, just that visible masculinity, can put them in a certain state. Well, that's the attractiveness. And see, understand something. Women look at attractiveness different from how we do, because you get a lot of guys think, well, the man just need a handsome face or something, right? But women looking at the total thing. So she looking at the face, but she's looking at the body and everything. And a woman can actually have an orgasm if she's turned on by the man's body. That's why women are paid. That's why they are paid escorts. That's why they engage in sex tourism. Like, I'm going to be real. This is a little tangent. Every time women complain about men going sex tourism, I'm like, well, I heard about y'all going down to the islands and everything way before I heard about men doing it. I know my island brothers on here. Shoot. Yeah, I know y'all got some stories of women going places like Ghana or Bali or Turkey, whatever. And the main thing is the bodybuilder of the men, because it turns them on. Male exotic dancers, because it turns them on. And a woman to have an orgasm more and more likely. Because the article I'm sharing, it links a study that was done on if they find the guy that they're dealing with physically attractive. So that's a big part of it. So they're looking for that. And it is what it is. It is what it is. That's why I emphasize body game. Because especially if a guy used that and a woman shows some interest in him, she turned on by his body. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Make it easy for you. She gave you that look. He. Shoot, she start looking at you biting that lip or something. Looking you up and down slowly. Shoot. You take the guesswork out of it. But she looking for that. But see, that's just the physical aspect. A man still got to have that level of confidence. And what is confidence exactly? It ain't just being able to go out here and just be social and everything. That confidence is specifically in the bedroom. You got to look like you can tear up. And it ain't something you can fake. It's like one of those things. The only way you can gain it is actually go out and practice. You can't go like I get some people like, well, how can I look that way? You gotta get some women to have sex with. Seriously, there's a lot of stuff, and people think they can read something or do some or fake it to you. It's like no, there's certain things that you can only do if you actually go do it. And there's only one teacher for that. So they're looking for that confidence. And sometimes they look for stuff like humor. They look for money, but not to the extent people think. Not to the extent people think. Because if they just looking just for that money, they ain't necessarily going to have good sex just behind the money. But then that man who used that money to create a certain environment, put her in a certain relaxed state. Like you get a woman, like say a woman married to a guy, and he keep all those bills paid and stuff, keep it comfortable. She ain't stressed out. Boom. And then the ability to make her laugh, all that does is get her to be comfortable. You get her comfortable, you get past that tension. Because the thing that orgasm does for a woman, it releases all that tension. You ever see that woman, she get that good orgasm, she could be all mean and stuff, she get that good orgasm, she just floating on there. She's all happy and everything. That's a powerful thing. And I'm going to tell you what, women looking for it, because a lot of guys are dealing with women and just thinking, oh, they have to do, well, they ain't even thinking about it. They ain't even thinking about it. They just going to get theirs, and they think it's good. And if a woman still deal with that guy anyway, she might deal with him, because society says she should be married and he fits whatever her group or whatever. She could be a church girl and say, well, he's supposed to marry this guy. All right, they do that. That's when the shadow world comes in. Yeah, I ain't talked about that in a while. That's when the shadow world come in. They'll find that guy who they find attractive, who can get them nice and comfortable, who look like he know what he doing in the bedroom, and they'll give it to him on the low. And trust me, don't make me have to put a link for the infidelity stuff. I already been talking about that. Shit. Hell, you know what? I'm going to put one. I'm going to find a link for an infidelity form or something and put it on here too. Because, you know what? I'm going to talk about, because guys got to understand. See, a lot of guys want to talk about everything except in that bedroom. And that's where a lot of shit go down. That's where a lot of stuff go down. They wondering why that woman sneaking out or something. They say, well, he must not have that money, or he must not be doing this. Nah, she ain't hollering. Her eyes ain't going in the back of her head and stuff. And shoot. And like I said, they will pay for it. They will pay for it. That's how much they want it. And see, I'm going to tell you what. Women want it more now than they ever did for one simple reason. The female gaze has been freed. See, it used to be women would tolerate. I'm going to tell y'all something now. Women would tolerate publicly a guy who wasn't satisfying them, as long as he took care of all that other stuff. And, they had that peer pressure and, they might not have been able to work. And even then, even back in the day, because what, people think shit was so different back in the day. No, it was just more underground. It was just more underground. I knew some elders going back to the 30s talking about some of the stuff that was happening back there that's happening now. Only difference is it's in the open now, but they were saying it's still happening. Now, I talked to several dudes who talked to old school players, older guys, elders, whatever. And they said, well, that's what's happening, man. Shit. Why you think they got that statement, that might be the milkman's baby? Seriously. Why you think they got that statement? So it's happening because they looking for that. Oh. And I'm going to tell you what. Since women don't need men for that stability, because I know some people think, oh yeah, all this stuff happened, they're going to come back. Some of these women keeping these jobs. Shit, if anything, men being screwed over more with the job thing, but that's another conversation I'll probably have on my Money Matters channel. Nah, they don't need it. They got the homes, cars, so, they looking at that man, it's like, well, shit, how big is that bulge? Can he make a holler? That's why, I was doing an interview one time. And they say, well, Rom, somebody was like, well, 5 questions you ask a woman, right? And I gave them like The first four answers I gave, first four questions were like just some basic stuff, what you read, what you do and stuff. The fifth one was, well, can she back that thing up? So I mean, it's there, y'all. It's there. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. People gotta be real about this shit, though. People gotta be real about it. You know, it's a shame that you got men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s still ain't get this one little thing about women. And they'll think, or they'll see some woman, some innocent looking woman, and think she ain't getting down. Man, those are the main ones. Those are the main ones. I had like church going women. You know, plain Janes. Talking about, yeah, they cheated on a mate for this reason. And it was always the sex. They'd be like straight up, oh, I needed something. They'll tell me. Now somebody else, they'll be like, oh no, he was an emotional terrorist. Well, you know, he wasn't paying attention. No, you wanted that D. They wanted to holler. And that's one of the things. That's one of the main things. People know who follow my work know I talk about Mr. Goodbar. Shit, they just sexually aroused by him. They turned on. You got a look and an attitude that turns them on because they're looking for that thing, that need. Like if a man really want to keep a woman, make her holler. You know, when you see women with some of these guys and socially the guy might not be all that or crazy or bad boy or something, rest assured in the bedroom, she's hollering. It's not a social thing. And they'll put up with it. And then what happens is, since that guy know he got him that way, he don't have to deal with him. He's like, well, shoot, I don't have to deal with anything else. Understand that. So they looking for that. Just understand that. And accept it and then do what you can to bring your stuff up. And really, that's what my books do. That's what my books do. I'm telling you how to turn them out. You know. Have them up there talking about, I shot the sheriff. Yeah, shit. Because otherwise, like, you know, you don't have to listen to me. And like some dude's thinking, well, you know, I just take 3 minutes with my woman and all that, but she's still here. She's still cooking dinner. All of that, man. Yeah, Rom, you don't know what you talking about. I'll be like, all right. You know what I always say. Well, there's two things I want you to do. Two things. Double back home one day. Double back home. Or no, 3. Double back home. If she got social media, pay attention who liking her pictures. And third one, when she says she going on a girl trip down to the Bahamas. And Eddie Murphy broke this down back in the 80s. She says she going on a girl trip to the Bahamas, or really nowadays any place. I say, yeah, just me and the girls hanging out someplace. Yeah, all right. Yeah. And she come back like, she coming back all happy and stuff. It'd be like, all right. Yeah. But if for whatever reason she don't want to touch you right away. Yeah. Oh, and y'all don't want me to tell y'all about Black Funk when she got something against you. Y'all don't want to know. Anybody know about Black Funk? Put it in the comment section. I might have to keep that. I think some dudes might not be able to handle that. But anyway, right? That's all I got for today. I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.